Lascia lì, da profitto così.
Kalau dia sampai, dia dulu. Jatuh ke dalam lagu dia kata.
Dua. Tak on dah.
Dah.
Biar apa? Video ada nasi. Sniper ada satu orang di YouTube. Baca surat. Dia ada sniper. Dia kerja di orang. Sudah ada yang sudah habis. Tak ada tu apa cakap sini. Air tamu.
Dia ke bawah.
Tak ada.
Bas.
Yang lagi lepas.
Tapi Syahira tak ada ni. Dia refresh tak ada apa.
Bisa lagi betul tak? Habis tambah.
Dia rasa ni. Untuk kau dah beli lah.
Beli.
Sekian lah.
Good morning, honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to extend a very warm welcome to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus graduation ceremony. We hope that you will enjoy this wonderful day of celebrations. As this is a formal occasion, may we please ask for your kind cooperation in ensuring the smooth running of the ceremony by following a few simple requests. First of all, may I ask you to ensure that all mobile phones are either switched off or turned to silent mode. Please remain seated during the entire ceremony. Please note that photography is permitted during the ceremony, but it can only be done from your seats. Especially for the graduates, please refrain from taking selfies on stage. At the end of the ceremony, please remember to remain seated while the platform party, followed by the graduates, leave the hall. This allows time for the official photography to take place. We will then invite you to leave the hall and join officers of the university, staff, and graduates for a buffet reception in the Academic Plaza, which is just outside this building. We will have ushers on hand to direct and assist you. Thank you for your kind attention and patience. Honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask you to kindly rise for the entry of the procession.
Please be seated. Mr. Wayne Kendall, Provost and CEO of the University of Muslim Malaysia Campus. Professor Ong Sim, Vice Provost, Teaching and Learning. Professor Claire O'Malley, Vice Provost, Research and Knowledge Exchange. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is David Greenway. I have the privilege of being the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham. It's my pleasure to be here today on the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus to preside at this graduation ceremony. It's a ceremony for graduates from our Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering. It's ceremony number 9 of 10 that we're holding here at the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus. I'll make a point of talking specifically about the number of ceremonies here because, of course, these aren't the only graduation ceremonies in our university. They began 3 weeks ago at the University of Nottingham in China, where I was, for those graduations, and then in between we've had 22 graduation ceremonies at the University of Nottingham in the UK, and since Saturday we've been hosting graduations here for all our new graduates from the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus. Degree of formality about the ceremony, that's the way it should be. This is a very significant occasion for you, for your families and friends, and of course for our university. So it's right and proper that we mark it with a degree of formality. But of course it's also a celebration. A celebration for you of accomplishment, a celebration for your friends and family of your accomplishments. And it's important you ensure that it's just as memorable a day for them as it is for you. The University of Nottingham Malaysia campus has been here since the year 2000, and I have been part of our university actually since before that date. So I was involved in the planning for this campus, involved in the setup. I was here when we opened this wonderful campus in September 2005, and I have been here more or less every few months since then to watch it grow and develop. We've been here for 17 years, and the progress that was made in that period has been quite remarkable. But of course, we're part of a university that's been around for rather longer, specifically since 1881. And that doesn't make us even the oldest university in the United Kingdom, let alone the oldest in the world. The oldest in the UK, they argue about whether it's Oxford or Cambridge. I think it's Oxford. Goes back about 100 years. The oldest in the world is Al Qarain in modern day Morocco. Goes back to the 9th century. They are remarkably enduring institutions, like universities. And it kind of begs the question, in a world where we've seen astonishing change this century, let alone in the period since the University of Nottingham was established, and let alone over the last 1,000 years, they still endure. I think they endure for 2 reasons. One, because right at the heart of what we do is something which hasn't altered over the past 1,000 years. We help to shape the world around us, we help to transform the world around us. That partly is through talent development, through people like you coming to places like this, being enriched, being prepared for the world outside, being prepared for leadership roles in the world outside. And it's partly through what we as an institution do in research and knowledge exchange. So in your disciplines, actually, electronic and electrical engineering is never been more important. If you think of the agenda around the electrification of transport, because if we can make more transport all electric, including flights, and that's a kind of man on the moon kind of a challenge. Well, actually, I think what we do for our planet more broadly is because we reduce our dependence on hydrocarbons and fossil fuels. So we do change the world through our research and knowledge exchanges as well. That's for 2 reasons. The other reason is institutions like the University of Nottingham, like the University of Cambridge or Oxford, these are institutions that manage to adapt and change through time because the world changes and we as institutions need to respond to that. So many of the areas of study we would have pursued over the last 3 or 4 years didn't exist 25 years ago. With the graduation Sunday morning for computer science. Computer science didn't exist in University of Nottingham until 1985. So the world changed and we have to adapt with that. And of course that process of adaptation will continue. We're in this digital economy, increasingly digital economy, which means that the way in which we do things, the way in which we engage with our students, the way in which we organize ourselves, the way in which we engage with the outside world will have to change. It doesn't mean we say that places like this won't be any longer important. They will, because you will still want to come to places like this for social interaction, engagement, the face-to-face contact with the people that put the stuff online. You have to change too. The world that you will grow up in, the world that you will develop in, the world that you will work in is a very rapidly changing world. It's part of demography, it's part of globalization, but above all else it's technology. So many of the jobs that you will be engaged in, many of the companies you will work with, don't exist. Just don't exist. You might wonder, how do I prepare for that? Well, some of that preparation has already taken place while you've been here. While you've been a student, you've learned to assess evidence. You've learned to conduct experiments. You've learned to make evidence-based judgments, in other words. You've also learned about complexity. We deal with complex systems, and you've learned how to deal with ambiguity because there isn't always a right and a wrong answer. They're important intuitions to have for the world in which you will develop, because you will have to change your role many more times in your career than I have done in mine. And then, of course, there's also the development that's taking place outside of the classrooms and the laboratories. If I reflect on the range, amazing range, of student society clubs here on this campus, which are all self-organized, you run. If I reflect on the opportunities that a number of you have taken for a study abroad experience, maybe in Boston, UK, maybe in China, maybe somewhere else, doesn't matter. If I reflect on the internship opportunities you've taken, all of these are proving that you're adaptable. You can adapt to different circumstances. You're developing communication skills, you're developing teamworking skills, and they'll all be important for the future. In addition to that, I have 5 pieces of advice. In thinking about the next 5 or 10 years, and you probably just want to be thinking in this world 5 years ahead at a time, planning 5 years ahead at a time. First of all, it's really important to not just set high standards, and you've already done that. That's opportunity here today, but that's not the case. But important to be courageous and bold in your decision making, especially when you're in a leadership position. Because the easy thing to do is just, as they say, go with the flow, make the easy choices. The harder thing to do is to make the bold choices. But good leadership is about making bold choices. Secondly, you need to recognize if you make bold choices, then the likelihood of making a mistake is that much higher. And the likelihood of a failure is therefore that much higher. But you mustn't be deterred by a prospect of making mistakes or a prospect of failure. You must always look upon it as a learning opportunity, because in general you learn much more from your mistakes than you do from your successes. So it's a learning opportunity, it's not an excuse for inaction. And that brings me to my third point. My third point is keep on learning. By that I don't mean keep collecting degrees. You might want to do postgraduate study, you might want to do a master's or PhD. But by learning, I mean learning on a daily basis from those around you, those that you work with. And then when you're in a leadership role, those that you lead. That will help you be a better leader. It will help you understand people. And you just never stop learning. And then fourthly, and I think this is an easy message for your generation, because I think it's a generation that cares about inequality, that cares about social exclusion, and that is be giving. Give back. Aim to give more than to take. In any relationship, business relationship, personal relationship, because aside from the fact that will enrich you, you'll tend to find you come out ahead. And then my final, fifth bit of advice is the most obvious of all, which is why I've held it at the end rather than the beginning, and that is there's no substitute for hard work. You know, all of the successful people I have met, many of whom inspire me, these are people in whatever walk of life who have one consistent thing in common, and that is they work very hard. Doesn't mean to say they don't have a work-life balance, but they work, they're diligent, they're focused, they work very hard. So for the future, I wish you good fortune, the best of your good fortune. Minimize the impact of your ill fortune. And you'll find that if you're applied, if you're focused, you'll make real life. Great world of opportunity. You're a really connected generation across space, across time, digitally. Fantastic technology before you. Combine that with your own human ingenuity. I think you'll do very well. Good luck. Thank you, Mr. I'd like to invite Provost and CEO, Professor Graham Kendall, to make some opening remarks.
Professor Sir David Greenaway, Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Fong Sim, Vice Provost Teaching and Learning, University of Nottingham Malaysia Campus, Professor Claire O'Malley, Vice Provost Research and Knowledge Exchange, University of Nottingham Malaysia Campus. Welcome everybody. I'm Graham Kendall. I'm the Provost and CEO of this campus. I'm very proud and honoured to have that position. I'm also a Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham and proud to hold that position as well. But congratulations on what you're achieving today. I'm sure that it's felt like a long road. I'm sure that some of you have been here many years, typically 3, but maybe more than that, maybe some of you less, but I'm sure it's, however long you've been here, I'm sure it's felt like a long road. But hopefully you'll feel that it's worth it. As you cross this stage at the moment, hopefully you'll feel that it's been all the hard work and effort you've put in. I also stand here before you as a proud graduate of the University of Nottingham. I graduated with my PhD in 2000. Seems unbelievable, it's 17 years ago, but it is. And I had an industrial career before that, and I used to call myself an industrialist who was now an academic. I worked out recently, I've now been in academia longer than I've been in industry, which is scary. And I think it'll be something I'll come back to later on about making the best use of time. That 17 years that I worked at the University of Nottingham was absolutely flown by. So you really need to take advantage of every minute and every second that you've got. Maybe to people on this side, because hopefully people on my left, your right, will know a lot of this. But maybe people on this side, I'll just want to tell you something a little about the University of Nottingham. Vice Chancellor already mentioned some of the things. Well, maybe give you some information which you may or may not know. So the University of Nottingham we're very proud. We're in the top 100 universities in the world. That means we're in the top 1% of all universities in the world. And we're very proud of that, and that comes through a lot of hard work by a lot of people doing good quality teaching, good quality research. We continue to play a leading role in internationalisation. The word global is used, in my view, too often, too frequently by many people, and it's not clear what it means. But we are a truly global university. We have campuses obviously in the UK, we have a campus in Malaysia, and we have a campus in Ningbo, China. The campus here has been here since 2005. We actually started operating in 2004. from an office in Kuala Lumpur. That office is no longer there. It's now a condominium, as many places are. But we've been here since 2005 in this custom-built campus, and hopefully you'll have a chance to look around. Hopefully we've seen the rain that's going to happen today. Hopefully that's out of the way. Hopefully we'll get a bit of sun, because the campus looks fantastic at any time, but if the sun comes out it looks even more spectacular. And our campus in Ningbo has been there since 2004, and again, it seems amazing that we've been here 17 years, and the campus in China has been there 12, 13 years. And it's something that I mentioned when I go back to the UK and meet colleagues there. Some of them still don't realise the scale of the operations in Asia. Around 25% of our students, around 12,000 of our students, are registered either in Malaysia or in China. So we have about 43,000 students globally, and about 12,000 here. So 25% of our business is based in Asia. And I think that's testament to the way the university's developed and the way that people have embraced and come and studied in our university globally. And of course there's lots of opportunities for student exchange, and we have quite a large mobile student population. And we're aiming to increase that. We think that's one of the important things that people could put on their CV or gain life experience, is actually if you go to an employer and say, I studied in the UK, but I also studied in China or Malaysia, that has real value. And we do have exceptional students, many of them which do travel around, but we really try and enhance their CV even more. So we have something called the Nottingham Advantage Award, and if you look through page 14 to 16 in the brochure that you're given, you'll see the list of this year's Nottingham Advantage Awards who have been awarded that NAA award. And what we try and do with that is we try and give a formal recognition to extracurricular activities, so outside of their formal programme. And it's intended to increase their employability and increase their life skills and their soft skills even further than they do through their normal programme. And to get the NAA award, students have to demonstrate significant achievement. Mine we're taking a range of activities, and that might include volunteering work, work experience, study abroad, language learning, enterprise project, career planning, and activities which are run by the Student Association. So it's an award which I think is unique to Nottingham, and I think students really value it, and it does, and we know employers value it. So now you're graduating from the University of Nottingham, it's up to you to take full advantage of that award. You're going to cross the stage in a little while, and you'll receive a scroll, and that will be a representation of the hard work that you've done. But it's now up to you to leverage on that. There's no one outside the door throwing money at you or fantastic jobs. You've still got to do a lot of hard work. So you've taken more than a single step on your life's journey. You're still at the start of that journey. But you've got a long way to travel. And hopefully we can still help you with that. We're still here. We're more than academics with our colleagues, and hopefully we can help you progress through that journey. You can help us as well. I'll hear more about that later on. But I think you enter a world, you're already in a world, but you move from the safeness of maybe the university environment into a world that's undergoing significant change. Brian Wood recently said, change has never happened this fast before, and it will never be this slow again. And we can see that when I left my industrial career, there was no such thing as email, which really does give my age away. But email is now becoming almost defunct. I mean, you wouldn't know it from my inbox, but lots of businesses conducted on WhatsApp and other social media things. But to me, that quote sums up the monumental changes that are happening. Things are moving so quickly, and we have to keep up with that and be able to work with that and be able to be flexible enough to continue coping with all that life gives us. I think as the Vice Chancellor said about companies, 65% of people entering primary education today will work at companies which don't exist yet, which is a frightening thought my mind, when I started my career, the company I worked with, I could have probably stayed with them for life. Many people have jobs for life back in the day. That's not the case anymore. You're entering an age where you can be much more mobile, much more global, and be amazed out of all of you, if any of you spend the whole of your life with one company. We were recently honoured to have Paul Rennie, who's the UK's Deputy High Commissioner to Malaysia, visit us for a senior management retreat we had in our campus in Ningbo, China. And he told the story, he was reflecting on the changes that we're going through now and the changes that education will face. And he told the story of stagecoach operators, and stagecoaches were running for hundreds of years. Very nice business, delivering people, mail, goods, services, etc. And then the trains come along. And within 10 years, stagecoaches were wiped out. And it wasn't the stagecoach operators that were running the trains. Suddenly all these stagecoaches all the stagecoach operators were out of business. And that 200, 300, 400 year business was wiped out within 10, 20 years when the trains come along. And that's going to happen to many industries. We can see that in things like Airbnb is affecting the hotel industry, Amazon is affecting the retail industry, Uber and Grab is affecting the taxi industry. And there will be big disruptions in the education industry. They've not really happened yet, but they will do in the future. And as the people on the stage have to be ready to adapt to that. And the companies that you work in, you will have to adapt and change as things move on. And if you look back, change is not a new thing. We can look back at, it's always interesting to look at, try and relate it back to Nottingham. So Nottingham used to have, and still does, it's still famous for Nottingham lace. And Nottingham lace was being produced in Nottingham by manual workers. And then we had the first industrial revolution come along. And the first industrial revolution, because of steam, automated many processes or mechanised many processes. And almost overnight, the textile industry changed. And many people in Nottingham lost their jobs. We were still producing Nottingham lace, but it was done by machines rather than people. We're now in the fourth industrial revolution, the digital revolution, where really processes are being taken over by artificial intelligence. So jobs are being replaced by artificial intelligence, digital and the physical world are merging, and that's going to have significant change, produce significant jobs in the future, many of which we don't know about now, and many of which the primary school, people entering primary school will be doing in the future. So new jobs are being created, and I think you're well positioned to take advantage of those new jobs as you enter the workplace. But you have two important assets. Benjamin Franklin once remarked, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And you've invested in knowledge, you've invested your time, your resources, your finances, you're getting the best education you can and getting the best knowledge that you can. But it doesn't end there. We encourage you, and I'm sure you will take this on board and already do it with lifelong learning. You never stop learning and keep investing in your knowledge. So knowledge is important, I think we hopefully will agree with that. The other important thing you've got, and everyone has equal amounts of this, it just depends how you use it, is time. Time is very, very important, and there's only a limited amount, and it's how you use it will be the key to your future. I quote from Steve Jobs, who's from my discipline, computer science. He said at a graduation ceremony in 2005, death is very likely the single best invention of life. It is life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so why waste it living someone else's life? And I think that's very true. You need to make every second of your life count to give you the best advantage. So use your knowledge and use your time to the best effect possible. And in that way you can make a real contribution to the world. So I'm a computer scientist, and I've quoted from Steve Jobs, and if I quote from Steve Jobs, I probably have to quote from Bill Gates, because otherwise people think I've put in my alliance one way or the other. And Bill Gates, again at a graduation ceremony, he commented on the values that should guide the rest of your life, because while you're using your knowledge and time to its best advantage, you really need to be giving back, as the Vice Chancellor mentioned. And Bill Gates said, I hope you will judge yourselves on your professional, I hope you will judge yourselves not on your professional accomplishments alone, but also on how well you have addressed the world's deepest inequities and how well you treated people a world away who have nothing in common with you but their humanity. If you can combine that with good use of time and lifelong learning, then I think you're well positioned to make a real impact on this world. So many congratulations on your award. I really hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I wish you every success in your future careers and endeavours. And please drive trains and not stagecoaches. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham. So now we come to your awards, and by the authority of the University of Nottingham, best in my office, and those present today, those who are sent here, the degrees, diplomas, and certificates. I'd like to invite my colleague, Professor Andy Chan, who is Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, to present the graduate from the Department of Electronic and Electronic.
Vice Chancellor, to you and to the congregation, I present these students in my faculty for the following degrees. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Saif Al-Islam Ibrahim Mahmoud Ahmed. Muaz Abdurrahim Mohammed Abduzahid. Asmin Hari Aizai Azam. Hao Jie Chang. Xu Qing Chen. Xianming Zhong. Isaac Fedosian. Xu Mei Bo. Hafiz Hazik Hamdan. Ji Kelvin. Ka Wai Lu. Emmanuel Tombe Logali Lukac. Kalimani Nanali Vishweshwar. Mohammed Ashfaq Mohammed Ifa. Sandra Njoki M. Walura. Wei Bang Hui. Harishankar Rajkumar. Devish Regasami. Wee Sam Wong. Zhou Seiyu. Sang Hong Yu. For the degree of Master in Engineering with Honors, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Paul Yi Xuan Ang. One Lieutenant Akimi Badro Hisham. Lui Chen Chong. Yan Jie Ge. Yi Jun Lai. Andrew Yu Shang Li. Ka Sheng Li. Han Quan Ng. Kai Wen Ng. Yin Chen Hu. Kai Chuan Fo. Wen Yan Tang. Yik Yang Tang. Electronic and Communications Engineering, Zhao Linong. Electronic and Computer Engineering, Ho Kong Chong. Medul Gupta. Wei Hao Quack. Mechatronic Engineering, Yuan Chou. Quan Wen Chung. Chong Yuan Hing. Benjamin Yuan Ping Lo. Xin Wei Li. New Fahana Nur Rahim. Boon Kiet Huang. Zhen Cheng Xiang. Naam Masood Shah. Jit Hui Tang. Jun Xuan Wang. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Hadisa Ahmed Abu Bakar. Mohammed Shahrukh Anand Khan. Patrick Wen Chuan Ho. Su Ting Yong.
Now let's invite Mr. Mohammed Akil Shumfin, past Student Association President, who graduated yesterday in Civil Engineering, to present on behalf of the class of 2017. Thank you.
Vice Chancellor, Professor Sadev Greenaway, Provost CEO of University of Nottingham, Malaysia Campus, Professor Ram Kello, distinguished guests of the university, my fellow graduates, friends and family. Sapiente ubs cogito. I don't know how fluent or how clear my Latin is, but if you notice, that is what's written on the coat of arms right there. And what that translates to is a city built on wisdom. And I will get to this at the end of my speech. Today is a day where we are at a crossroads in our life. We are ending a chapter and looking forward to what's next. So, while we are ambitious to plan what's next, we should never fail at taking this moment and recognizing our achievements. And in doing so, there are so many people that need to be thanked on this very special occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every one of you graduating here today for enriching our Nottingham experience. I challenge you to find a university where people not only wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, but also go to bed at 7 a.m. in the morning. It's a very inclusive and diverse community we have at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus, and for that I am very thankful. Moving on to my next point. I returned very recently from the Universitas 21 Undergraduate Research Conference, where I presented my final year research project, which was titled Rainfall Runoff Modeling Using Artificial Neural Networks. Now, I come from a background in civil engineering, and all of you guys from electrical engineering know that neural networks is to do with your school, so what am I doing with it? And in this conference, there were over 20 universities with over 100 students representing 6 continents, and they had the same question in their mind. What is this civil engineering student doing with neural networks? And for this, I need to be thankful to the staff and the students here at the University of Nottingham, namely my lecturer, Dr. Lee, Ashfaq Ifam, who will be graduating here today, and Dr. Wang Yiwang, as well as all of our lecturers at the University of Nottingham, as well as the professional staff and my fellow students for allowing this interdisciplinary approach that we can take towards completing our projects. So thank you to our staff, professional and academic. Next, it's the most important pillar that needs to be thanked today, which is our family. Family are steadfast pillars on which we stand on to reach even greater heights. So thank you, Mom, Dad, and everyone here who is here to celebrate in this joyous occasion here with us today. While we are being thankful for today, we should not forget the lessons learned from yesterday. When I was first invited to speak a few words at this ceremony, I didn't know how to pen down 4-5 years worth of experience here at the University of Nottingham. So I started reflecting on what my Nottingham journey was. I served as your Student Association President. I represented the University of Nottingham at the Undergraduate Research Conference in Scotland. I visited all 3 campuses through the Tri-Campus Games. I organized Malaysia's first International Student Summit. So you would think that I would be someone that could be easily employed, right? Having secured a second up in civil engineering. So I sat my first interview just 2 weeks ago, and within 24 hours I got my declination. They were not happy with me. Although I was quite disappointed with this, I was not devastated, because this is not the first time that failure struck me. Similar to my journey at the University of Nottingham, I'm sure all of you guys have had a very enriching couple of years at Nottingham. But my journey did not begin a few years ago, but rather in July 2011, when I came to attend my brother's graduation ceremony, where he graduated in your very own class, which is Electronic and Communication Engineering under the Faculty of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So I remember being at his ceremony, and I was just amazed at this diverse group of friends that he had. He's had possibly the best couple of years in his life, and I want to have this very own experience. At that very moment in 2011, I was completing my A-levels in biosciences in Sri Lanka. I had 1 more year to complete my examinations, but due to my excessive involvement in extracurriculars, I lost track of the goal at hand, which was my academics, and I was just able to merely squeeze out 3 simple passes. 3 simple passes was not going to get me into any university. After 19 years of education, I've somewhat jeopardized my future. My parents, they were a very strong pillar of support at this very tough time for me. And they told me, son, you have a year. Within a year, try to make amends. So during that 1 year, I transitioned from completing my Sri Lankan A-level examinations and now moved on to complete my London EdXL A-level examinations, where I scraped out 3 Bs. Why I use the word scraped out is, I was initially given 2 Bs and 1 C in August, and I sent the C for recorrection, and it went up by 27 marks. I just scraped out. And with that, I was able to get into the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus. So to be graduating with you in July 2017 has been a long and hard-fought battle. Entering UNMC in 2013 was an amazing new chapter. I'm sure everyone here has fond memories of when you reminisce about your time here at UNMC. I also knew that coming in, academics would be a tough battle ahead. But I hadn't learned my lesson yet. During the summer of 2014, when I received my results at the completion of my first year, it was a very defining moment in my life, because that's the first time I had actually tasted failure. I don't know how many of you may know this about me, but I hard failed possibly one of the easiest modules in engineering, which was Engineering Mathematics 2. To add insult to injury, my brother scored a 96 for this very paper. I may be smiling now, but I was not smiling then. I remember how nervous I was on that day, like it was yesterday. Ashamed and afraid, I approached my mother very nervously. And I shared this very depressing news with her, saying, I kind of failed this paper. And her reply really guided me. She told me that this is something you have to do. This is something you have to do. It was then that I really felt what it means to be in university. It's your individual journey. You want to be independent? Okay, take responsibility for your actions. So mom and dad cannot hold me anymore. This is my individual journey. I returned back to UNMC, having cleared the reset for Engineering Mathematics 2. And in my first year, I also ran for Student Association elections, and I failed at it. And I've always kept on remembering that you are not defined by your challenges, but rather by how you respond to these challenges. With a lot of self-reflection, hard work, and determination, I began my second year at UNMC. By the end of that academic year, I not only secured a first class in that academic year, but also was elected as your Student Association President. So thank you all for believing in me and supporting me during the very tough time. I also need to thank the University of Nottingham for providing the resources to help me get out of that very tough patch in my life. Although I graduated yesterday with a second upper in civil engineering, my experience here at UNMC is beyond the first class. Words are not enough to describe my gratitude towards everyone that makes this campus experience. From the janitorial staff to the management staff, from the foundation students all the way up to the postgraduate students. Thank you all for making this journey what it is, and for making this place what it is. This is a place where you can not only fail, but see yourself recover and rise to greater heights. For me personally, with all the ups and downs I've had at university, calling this a roller coaster of a ride would be an understatement. So this is my story. This is how I went from hard failing Engineering Mathematics 2 to representing the University of Nottingham at an international undergraduate conference. This is how I went from failing at one Student Association election to serving as your Student Association President. This is how I went from barely getting into this university to standing here right in front of you delivering this reflective speech. And I'm very confident that each and every one of you have had similar defining experiences at this campus. Your journey has been filled with your own personal challenges, academic or otherwise. So congratulations to you for overcoming your challenges, because today, on the 25th of July 2017, you are officially graduating from the University of Nottingham. Now, as ambassadors of the University of Nottingham, remember, Sapiente Ups Comito, please excuse my pronunciation, a city built on wisdom. Because on a day like today, remember to give academic its due importance, as there is no better tool to combat the challenges of tomorrow. And remember, I was talking to you about getting rejected in my first offer. Although I was very disappointed, I kept pushing at it. I kept the ball rolling. And within another week, I was able to secure a position at another internationally reputed organization in Sri Lanka. Remember to always wake up hungry for the challenges of tomorrow, but make sure you are content when you head to bed. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share a few words. Congratulations to you once again for graduating from the University of Nottingham, and don't forget to keep the ball rolling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, well done. You were a great Student Association president. You've been a great global student who are seen in various places in our family of universities, and that was a wonderful speech to leave our graduates with. I'd now like to invite Professor Claire O'Malley, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange, to say some final words before I close the session.
Professor Sir David Greenway, Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Graham Kendall, Pro-Vice Chancellor, University of Nottingham, Provost and CEO, University of Nottingham, Malaysia Campus, Professor Ong Kong Sim, Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning, distinguished guests, fellow academic colleagues and professional services staff, graduates. Earlier today, you entered this room as graduands. You came across this stage and you were transformed, and I now address you as graduates. Congratulations. You'll have mixed emotions. I can see you all smiling now, but when I was sitting there watching you, waiting to come up, I saw a little bit of nervousness, a bit of trembling perhaps. So a little bit of anxiety, certainly some relief and happiness and joy. You've no more exams to sit for, no more worrying if your experiment worked. But you'll also be feeling, possibly a little bit later, a bit sad, because you'll be saying goodbye for the moment to friends who you've had for quite a few years now. And a lot of these will be very strong bonds. You will have not only studied with these friends, you will have confided in them and were worried about things, you will have helped them, you will have had fun together, you will have many memories of your time as a group. Now, social media is great, and I'm sure you'll all keep up on Facebook, but inevitably life gets in the way. And over the years, the ties that are very strong now might weaken a little. But don't worry, I can reassure you that some of the friends that you make at university really do last a lifetime. But now you're embarking on your career, you're leaving the University of Nottingham, but you're entering a new community. And that is community of nearly 280,000 alumni of the University of Nottingham. 280,000 people who share something in common with you. 10,000 of those, at least, share UNMC in common with you, because we graduated with 10,000 students yesterday. Now, this is a worldwide community, because as you heard from Professor Kendall, about 1 in 4 of our students studied in Asia. About 25 or 30% of our total student population are international. In other words, not Malaysian, not UK, not China. From all over the world, from, I've forgotten how many countries, it must be over 140 countries, something like that. That means anywhere you go in the world, you'll not be far from the University of Nottingham Graduate. Now, why should you care about that? Well, I think that there are two reasons. First is a selfish one. You should care because your fellowship in this international alumni network gives you extraordinary access, potentially, to people who are now leaders, internationally, nationally, in many, many sectors, and people who will become leaders in those sectors. So basically, engaging with the alumni network could in the future reap huge dividends for you in your own careers. Second reason, a bit more altruistic. You have been privileged to have been given an outstanding education from a top university internationally, and you've been supported in that endeavour not only by my colleagues behind me, but also by your friends and your family. You owe it to us and to them to give back to that community. Never forget where you came from, the struggles you've had, and the people who helped you. And you can give back by being in touch with future generations of students. Whether you gain positions in other universities, as some of you may do, I see some with PhDs in the room, we hope you will, or you join companies, you can help us to develop the next generation of students, your fellow future alumni, by engaging in perhaps mentoring programs. And we make it easy for you because we have an e-mentoring scheme. You can perhaps offer internship opportunities or placements in the organisations in which you'll be working. So please do help us to support our students. I know many of you have benefited yourselves, haven't you, from internships and placements during your studies. And then the third reason, what I suppose I'll call filial, it's about love. We hope that you love the university that you've been studying in for the last 3 or 4 years. So make use of that feeling. Spread the word amongst the global community you'll be engaging with about the value of the global educational experience that Nottingham has given you. Become one of our ambassadors to recruit the next generation of students to Nottingham. And by the way, one of the first opportunities you have to engage in our alumni network is on the 23rd of September in Kuala Lumpur, and we have an evening alumni activity. I'm sure you'll hear more about it when you visit the desk outside this door. Now, class of 2017, please stand up. On this stage, you'll see representatives, some of the academic and professional services staff who've made possible your achievements to date, and some of the academic colleagues behind me are outstanding researchers who have guided you, enabled you to shape your research to get your PhDs, helped you in your final year projects. You've been very, very lucky. Professional services staff have also supported you. I think that you owe them a public gesture of thanks, but more importantly, on your left are the friends and the family who supported you emotionally, financially, not just during your time at university, but some of them all your life. I think you owe them an even bigger public gesture of thanks. So please, express your thanks to these people in the usual way. Yesterday we had civil engineering, didn't we, Professor Chan? I believe I heard something a good deal louder from colleagues in your own school. What do you think? Electrical and electronic engineers. I think you can do better than civil engineers, do you not? Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you. That's a very nice way to conclude our ceremony. So can I ask the entire congregation to stand, please, while we play the national anthem of the United Kingdom of Malaysia, and then now we declare this ceremony closed.